Hey guys, a few weeks ago I asked you to leave me some questions, and this whole week I've been trying to film the answers, but it's kind of jinxed and it's too hot inside, so let's go out. My favorite book series of all time? Definitely the Discworld series. I love Terry Pratchett's creation. Favorite book? Still The Gargoyle by Andrew Davidson. It's just so creative and imaginative, and it's so well written, and I just love the characters, the story, and everything about it. And since I'm really bad with remembering quotes, the only thing I remember from that book is that Marianne Engel says to the main character, "You've burned yourself again." And I just love that phrase. I can speak German and English. I learned French in school. I can't really say I can speak it. I might be able to read and understand a little bit of it. The same with Italian. I've had quite a lot of Italian friends at some point in my life, but then I moved away and I stopped talking to them, so I stopped speaking Italian. And I never really learned it. If I could learn anything, I'd love to be able to speed read. I'm a slow reader, and it doesn't bother me that much with novels. Sometimes it does, but it especially bothers me when I just want to gain information, like read the news or read an email. And I would love to be able to just look at it and know what it says. Bananas are 1 year older than me. I think I'd want to be a time traveler because I'd love to travel around and meet other cultures and other times, and maybe even visit myself in the past and see if my memory is correct. So I think I'd want to be Henry de Tumble, or rather his daughter, because she can control where she's going. Of course I like authors from different nationalities. I don't really pay that much attention where an author is coming from, because I think it's more interesting what the novel is about and the writing style. So I do read Americans, Canadians, British, Indian, German, French, Swedish, Norwegian, I think Ukrainian, whatever comes along, and if I'm interested in the book, I don't really care where the author is from. I think now, after all these years reading English novels, I don't have a problem understanding the plot anymore. But when I started, I probably didn't get everything at the first time. I sometimes reread novels that I read a couple of years ago, and I always discover new things. I think it's practice. The more you read in a different language, the more you understand and the more you will get out of the novel. But of course it's easier in your mother tongue. I actually have 2 university degrees. I have a teaching degree for elementary schools in math and sports, and I have an English literature degree. So what I do with that is that I teach English to adults in a private school. Currently I'm really into crime shows. I like to watch Bones and Grimm, and I really love Elementary. I'm looking forward to the new season of Sherlock coming out hopefully next year. And yeah, these kind of shows. Besides reading, I love to go to the movies. I love watching films on the big screen. Also, I love to travel. I've already been to a lot of countries in Europe, like Italy, Spain, Switzerland, France, Holland or the Netherlands, England. Noisy birds. I've been to the United States a couple of times, and that's kind of my favorite place to go. I love going back to the States because they have so many different places. I love going to New York and to Venice Beach and to Boston, and I want to go to see more of Canada. I've been to Canada, but not a lot, so I want to see more of that. Of course I like to read fantasy. I love comedic fantasy. I don't like it to be too serious. But I've read the First Law trilogy by Joe Abercrombie, and I really can recommend that to anyone who loves high fantasy. To say, but maybe for one more day, because I have such a close connection to the book due to the situation I read it in. I read it shortly before I lost a really close friend, and it was really coincidentally that I could spend some time with her before she died. And so I was really seeing myself in that. My favorite Booktubers? Oh, there are so many. I love to watch Vanilla Heart 62 and Words of a Reader, Adam and Karate, Sable Cod, and just so many more. There are many videos with shoutouts, and I think Adam and Karate, they have a playlist of Booktubers they like. Elizabeth from Lizzie Reads, or the Booktube News. What is her channel's name? I'll put it here somewhere. She always does Booktube News shoutouts. There are a few. She has, I think, a lot of Booktube lists on her Tumblr. On Goodreads there's an extra Booktube community. So there's a lot you can find out there about Booktubia. And when it comes to advice for Booktubers, I'd say just try it. Choose a language that you feel comfortable in, that you read the most books in. If you want to have a lot of viewers, I'd say English is the best language, because there are more English viewers than there are Spanish or German or Dutch, I don't know. What I do is I review the book in the language that I read it in. So if I read a German book, I'll put up a German video. Also with equipment, I started off with a really crappy camera because I didn't know if I want to do it for a long time. Then I bought one of these cheap cameras that you can get that I think automatically uploads to YouTube already, but I was editing all the time, so I don't really know. I can't do one-take videos. But that really helped me to get more into the filming, and now I bought an extra camera with like a flip screen. That's why I tend to look there all the time. But it really helped, and the more you get into it, the more fun you have, the more you want to invest. So if you want to get started, just do. Don't worry about anything, just get started. Don't expect with the first video to have like 1,000 likes. It's practice. Just keep practicing and don't be disappointed if the first video doesn't look so good. If you watch my old videos, they're not good. Thanks for that. Actually, I'm not such a healthy eater. I eat a lot of sweets. I eat chocolate all the time. I love to have sweet breakfast like rolls and bagels with cream cheese and Nutella. I don't eat that much cheese or meat in general. I'm not a vegetarian, but I just don't eat that much of it. I tend to eat large breakfast if I have time. If I don't have time, I usually only eat a bowl of cornflakes with banana. I am a very active person though. As you know, I'm running and I also cycle. I love to go swimming in a weather like this. I go for walks like today. I'm out and this is the Maschsee, a very lovely place in Hanover. You can walk around it, it's about 6 kilometers. And over there you can get ice cream. So that's what I normally do afterwards when I return. Also, I used to be an aerobics teacher, but I stopped teaching classes last year. I really miss that. I got ice cream. I don't really read when I'm sad. I usually snuggle up with a lot of chocolate and watch a sad movie or a romantic comedy. I'm not the right person to ask about German authors. I seriously hardly ever read any, and oftentimes I don't like the writing or the stories. I had a phase where I read a lot of Uwe Timm, but I haven't done so lately. And the same with Sven Regner. I used to read... No, I have read all his books, but I don't think he's written anything new lately. So... yeah, I don't know. I want to read more, like Walter Mörs I want to read, but I'm afraid of not liking him because one of my best friends likes him so much. I've only read one Christopher Moore book, the one with the monster who lives in the sea and makes everyone lovesick. I really liked it, it's really funny. I need to read more of his books. I don't really give books away. If I don't finish them, I still keep them. If you've seen my 25 facts about me video, then you know that I put postcards in there with the full intention of maybe finishing them. Even the books that I don't really intend to finish one day, I still keep. Yeah, the Discworld, I really don't know. I'd love to see the watch. I think I read 2 years ago that they're planning the CSI Young Mopok, but I haven't heard anything about that anymore. And I'd love to see more of the books turned into movies or maybe TV shows, I don't know. Just not the animated stuff, just use real people. Also, I'd love to see the Bartimaeus trilogy to be turned into a movie. I think that would look real cool with all the demons and stuff. Of course! Fly. Can't think of anything that I should be embarrassed about. Well done, Wiebke. I do want to read more of it. That's the reasons why I usually don't film on Tuesdays.